Hello, good evening. Tesco has been condemned tonight for breaking a promise to open a superstore in Wolverhampton, which would have created 300 jobs. The city's MP said he was told by the managing director of the company a year ago that the development would definitely go ahead. Tesco bought the land on the site of the city's old hospital for the store 14 years ago, but since then it's remained derelict. Yesterday it cancelled this scheme along with more than 40 others around the country. Tonight, leaders in Wolverhampton say they want the land back, as our business correspondent Mark Goff reports.
A glittering new store was what was promised for the site of the old hospital in Wolverhampton. But 14 years after Tesco bought the land, it's still derelict, and it's going to stay that way, for now at least. Sham Sharma is head of the city's business forum, companies which work together to regenerate.
The potential job creation would be around 300. Now that Tesco has decided to pull out, that's absolutely devastating for this area. This is a very deprived area. We have high unemployment rate. And had Tesco's gone through with this development, it would have brought in the surrounding areas into action.
Yes.
And then the people who own this particular building probably would have developed this, and they would have created more employment.
This part of Wolverhampton, All Saints, is deprived. Now they're being deprived of at least 300 jobs.
The people in this area need jobs. Tesco had promised us that predominantly it would be people out of this area that get the jobs.
Tesco told ITV News that the company hadn't been performing as well as it had hoped, and it needed to protect the 300,000 existing employees' jobs. The chief executive was told in no uncertain terms yesterday how badly the decision has gone down in Wolverhampton by the city's MP.
I told him that this wasn't just a matter of accounting, this was a matter of corporate citizenship, a matter of trust, an issue of how much the company's word was worth. And in this case, the company's word was worth nothing.
A new Tesco for this site in Birmingham has also been scrapped, along with another at Burton-on-Trent. But Wolverhampton is fighting back.
We will hope that Tesco would donate this land to the people of Wolverhampton for a nominal charge, and allow Wolverhampton people to actually develop this area as they see fit.
The next step is for the council leader and me to meet the head of Tesco's property division next week to ask them what they can usefully do to create a positive future for the site. And I've told Tesco that we will judge that on deeds rather than on words.
It's not known how much the land is worth. The Tesco development was £60 million. If it goes for housing, it could be more. But the people of Wolverhampton want the land back to decide for themselves what to do with it. Mark Goff, ITV News.
Two brothers have been charged with the murder of missing Coventry woman Samina Inam. Roger Cooper from Coventry and David Cooper from Leicester will appear before Birmingham magistrates charged with her murder tomorrow. The 34-year-old hasn't been seen since Christmas Eve, despite extensive searches. The final 3 of 52 EDL demonstrators charged with violent disorder at a rally in Birmingham have been sentenced. 20 people were arrested during the protest in July 2013, with others being traced using CCTV and public appeals. The 52, who came to Birmingham from all over the country, received sentences ranging from community service orders to prison terms. Andy Bevan reports.
Smoke bombs, cobblestones, bottles and coins were all hurled at police during an English Defence League rally in Birmingham on July the 20th, 2013. One policeman suffered concussion during the scuffles as an estimated 2,000 EDL supporters poured into Centenary Square, while yards away in Chamberlain Square, about 300 people from Unite Against Fascism and other groups mounted a counter-demonstration. More than 1,000 officers from West Midlands and other forces were drafted in, and dozens of arrests were made. Police later used CCTV footage and online appeals to track down dozens more EDL demonstrators, and today the last 3 of those arrested were dealt with by Birmingham Crown Court. 52 sentences have been handed down in all, ranging from community service to several years in prison.
We'll never be happy that people came to Birmingham and from what we saw had no intention of engaging in lawful conduct, but actually turned and attacked the police, attacked property and left Birmingham thinking they'd got away with it. What we've done today is we've seen a painstaking investigation lead to the conviction of a number of people who we hope will sell the message that you don't come to Birmingham and cause violence.
The rally was addressed by the then EDL leader Tommy Robinson. 3 months later, he resigned his post, citing his concerns about the levels of violence in the group. An EDL rally in the same area of Birmingham city centre last October also saw several arrests, but the event passed off without major scuffles. Andy Bevan, ITV News.
A 28-year-old man has been arrested after a woman died at a house in Tamworth. Emergency services found the 50-year-old collapsed at an address in Cross Street just after 4 o'clock this morning. She died at the scene. Police say they are treating the death as suspicious. A former headmaster has pleaded not guilty to committing 50 historical sex offences against children, including the alleged rape of a 7-year-old girl. 95-year-old Jack Mount, who ran a private school near Craven Arms in Shropshire, denies carrying out 8 other rapes and more than 40 other indecency offences against girls and boys between 1954 and 1979. He was bailed by Birmingham Crown Court until his trial date, which has yet to be fixed. Drunken thieves have returned the trident stolen from the iconic statue of Neptune in Cheltenham. The spear was taken before Christmas but was found in a garden in Painswick with a note of apology reading, "We were drunk and there was no harm meant. We're sincerely sorry." Cheltenham Borough Council will now have to fund the estimated £5,000 repairs. More than 2,000 dangerous fake frozen dolls have been seized at a Parcel Force hub in Coventry. Tests on the dolls imported from China showed they contained harmful chemicals. Parents are being warned to check any similar dolls to make sure they're genuine. Sport now. Aston Villa manager Paul Lambert has confirmed they'll be without Ron Vlaar for up to 6 weeks. The Villa captain has a knee injury, which makes it an even tougher task for them to find their first win in 9 league games this weekend. Their opponents, Leicester, are on the verge of making their record signing, reportedly £10 million for striker Andrej Kramaric. But he won't be available to play until a work permit is granted.
Points have been at a premium for Paul Lambert this year, and fans at Villa Park have started to voice their dissent recently, despite the manager telling them it's not helping the team.
The fans have always been great here with me. Yeah, it's not nice to hear, but that's football. It happens. It's football. You can't change it. But as I said before, if we keep playing the way we're playing with the ball and keep dominating the games the way we have been, you're hoping the chances will fall in. Then it changes.
Villa will be without captain Ron Vlaar for tomorrow's game against Leicester. He'll be out of action for up to 6 weeks after suffering a knee injury in the first half against Crystal Palace on New Year's Day. A big loss, but the manager thinks he's got the players to replace him.
We started the season with Ron and Philippe, 2 experienced lads, and they've been out injured now, and Kieran and Okora have come in and been brilliant for us. So I think the cornerstone of any team is make sure you've got a solid base. We've got the 5th best defensive league in the league, which is great, and that gives you a chance.
Leicester's potential record signing Andrej Kramaric is still waiting for a work permit to be granted, so he's not available for the game. He scored 28 goals in 31 games in Croatian football so far this year, including a hat-trick in the Europa League. He'll cost a reported £10 million and has joined Nigel Pearson's side ahead of Chelsea, who it's understood also made a bid for the striker.
Speaks volumes of the lad that he's keen to play a very positive part for us, and our current position in the league. We are where we are, but I think there is enough potential and for us to make progress now. He can play a big part in that, there's no doubt about that.
The league table doesn't lie. Leicester are bottom for a reason, but are hitting some form. Aston Villa are struggling, looking down the table, not up. If they lose tomorrow, the pressure on the manager will increase again.
Michael Sibbett reporting. Right, time now for the weather. Here's Janelle Aldred.
What's in store for today? ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Centre Parks.
Hello, we have a very wet and windy night on the way. It will feel mild, although that won't be the first thing you notice about the weather. We've got lows that are quite mild, 11 to 6 Celsius, but it is going to remain very windy. We'll have gusty winds, and as well as we go into tomorrow morning, we'll notice there'll be some heavier pulses of rain too. That's because of a cold front that's moving its way southeastwards. By tomorrow afternoon, it will be drier and brighter, but also much, much cooler. Temperatures almost halved from what they were today, but it will stay breezy as well. And then a settled weekend to come, but tonight, wet and very windy. Good night.
ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Centre Parks.
Right, that's it for now. Don't forget to check out our website to get live news updates across the region. itv.com/central is the address. But for now, from the team here, good night.